Hey everybody, it's Penny and Becca, and we're back. We decided we are going to try something different, and hopefully we won't get shut down this week. We just got shut down a few minutes ago. We're trying to do something really innovative and use the laptop, but now we're using our phone, and we're out here on the deck, and the Maquoketa River is behind us, and some brochures about our upcoming retreat, which we will be talking to you about momentarily. But first of all, for those of you who don't know me, and maybe if you're my friend on Facebook, you maybe know me, but even if not, I'm going to tell you what's going on. This is Becca Fermenti. She is my neighbor, and she's a health coach extraordinaire, and she's a great cook and all of these things. And she and I have been doing this Sunday summer stretch series for, well, this is our 8th week now. And usually we do the videos and then we load them up, but we've had this problem of not being able to get them loaded up in a timely fashion. Not because we haven't done our work, but because it takes forever to upload the videos on YouTube. So we just thought we'd just go live. I mean, we're going to be we need to swipe left to see our viewers. I don't know. I don't want to wipe us out, though. Gavin here is also our producer, so he's here and he's watching us and telling us. I'm hoping that all of you who are there can hear us, because sometimes that has been an issue in the past. So if you're here and you want to pop up and say howdy, or you want to send those fun stickers, you can send fun stickers. Becca and I were just playing around with this, and we were having these really weird things going on around, and we were just cracking ourselves up, and then we said, we're stalling, we need to get on and talk to you guys, because it's always a little unnerving when you go live on video. So here's what we want to talk about today. What we've done all summer is the Sunday Summer Stretch series, and so we've just done like bite-sized coaching on different topics to get you from where you are now to maybe where you want to go, just by stretching just a little itty bit. So we're gently nudging you. We're not like shoving you out of the nest or anything. But so far we've talked about many, many things. And the first one we talked about was support, and what having the right kind of support could do for you, and how that could help you move a little bit closer to your goal or where you want to go. And then we talked about structure, and how having some structure in place, some strategies, some ideas can really make a big difference. Because otherwise, if you just have this dream and you say, someday I'm going to do it, you don't really tend to get there without a little bit of support and a little structure. So Becca does speak. It's not, and she says really wise things too. I just have to remember to take a breath. I have this sore throat, so I have this throat lozenge in my mouth. So it's making me, so when I do that, I might look at you and have you just fill in the blank for us. So that was week 2, structure. Week 3, we talked about showing up. Just like you are. You're all showing up. It's just that we don't know that you're there yet. We can't see you somehow. If you're there, you can go ahead and send a little something like maybe a heart or a high or a thumbs up or something like that. I don't know how this works. We usually do a video and then we get to edit, and now we don't. Now we're completely live. We're feeling a little vulnerable, which was the topic of episode 5. Episode 5, I was in California. I had a team, and we talked about vulnerability. And my friend Julia made up a vulnerability song on the spot. But Becca also sings, and she could make up a song tonight for us. And, you know, that would probably invite a lot more people in if Becca...
Or scare off a lot more people. Yeah.
Yeah, so you never know what can happen, especially on live calls. You never know what could happen. There could be like an owl or an eagle or a fox going around outside, or maybe a deer.
Lots of times there's deer.
Or possibly our dogs. More than likely, it could be our dogs could show up. So, so speaking of showing up, what I just said there. So then we also talked about engagement, how once you show up, to something, then you need to engage with the people that you are there with. You need to share a little bit of yourself. You need to let people know who you are. Like I had an experience last month, let me say, when I was out in California and was at a workshop. I did some tapping for our group. And it occurred to me that people can't ever really see you the way you want to be seen until you show up and give of yourself in a way that allows them to see you and experience you. And you can't do that if you're kind of holding back and being shy. And you might say, well, you can do that because, look, you're making a video. Well, I'm only making a video because of Becca. Because if I didn't have Becca here, I would have never...
cheerleader.
Yeah, I would have never made the video because she said, I'll do it with you. And on January 1st, that's what we did. I don't know if you remember. You could have been there. You could have been watching us when we did the...
New Year's celebration.
Name it and claim it. We did name it and claim it. And then we did a year in review. We did all that kind of stuff. So we've been like pushing you all year. If you notice the theme, there's always something that we're wanting you to do. So, yeah. So now we just want you to engage with us because that is... one of the topics that we talked about. And of course you will feel vulnerable because sometimes just showing up and being here.
Being seen.
Yeah, being seen. And then like, oh my gosh, what if I say something ridiculous, or what if the camera stalls out like it just did a few minutes ago? But these are all things that happen in life, you know. You just have to show up and see what goes on. So after we talked about that, then we also talked about curiosity and how if we look at things and be more curious about things instead of being afraid or apprehensive or whatever, we just say, I wonder what might happen, or I wonder if, or wouldn't it be nice if? And so we looked at that.
My favorite question. What would it take to?
Oh, that's Becca's favorite question.
Favorite question. What would it take to? Because not only is it getting your own mind working with what it would take to do whatever it is that you most desire, it kind of puts you in the mode of thinking things through and actually putting something into motion. But it also sends that kind of question out into the universe to help you come up with your answers and maybe work things out a little bit. If you say, what would it take to, it just kind of opens up all kinds of possibilities.
Yeah, because I think sometimes we think it's too overwhelming. It's like, I'm not even going to start because it's too overwhelming. But you have helped me with this a lot, even in planning our retreat. We've talked about, okay, let's just talk it through, and what would it take to do this? And
what would it take to?
And what are we going to do? And so, inch by inch, it's a cinch. You know?
Right.
So, well, it's not completely a cinch yet. It's still hard to figuring out all the moving parts, but it's just, you only have to figure out one thing at a time. So in order for us to do this, I had to figure out how to get my internet connection going again, which took me a long time, but it was worth it because now here we are. Which brings us to, no, I forgot one other thing. We did talk about challenge, so that would certainly segue right into challenge because it was a challenge to get all this figured out. But last week we did a little thing that we like to call the Get Stuff Done and Have Fun Challenge. So for 21 days in August, we asked you to do something to get something done that's fun. So the difference between the Get Stuff Done 1 by 31 challenge, which we did last year, is that we had to do something every day that you needed to get done. This year, we want you to do something fun, like something that you wouldn't maybe normally do because you're busy doing something for everybody else, and you're not doing this fun thing for yourself. So like my thing that I'm doing every day, I'm doing a little post, like a little social media thing, and putting that out on Instagram, which is fun to make these little quotes and put them out there, but I think, I don't have time to do that. But it really only takes about 5 or 10 minutes. And that's what my challenge is to all of you, is to get stuff done and have fun. So it shouldn't take very long, and it needs to be fun for you. And what we said in our other video was that, sometimes what's fun for one person is not fun for somebody else. So even though, like, you might say, I would never want to do that posting on the Instagram thing because I don't know how to do that. Hey, some people are here. Hey, I think it's our producer,
Hi.
Gavin.
Hi, Lauren.
Hey, Lauren Larrabee, are you here? And Luann.
Hi,
Yay!
Lauren.
I think there might be someone. We can't see our screen very much because it's kind of small. So anyway, thank you so much
Hi.
for joining us. We're delighted to have you here. It's me, Penny, and Becca, and we're just talking about our Sunday Summer Stretch series. And we every week we show up and we just give you a few tips on coaching. And this is all leading up to our Tapping into Your Wellpower retreat, which is coming right up now. It's coming up in September. So I have this little brochure in the background here, which I'm now going to bring to the front. If you would like one of these brochures, if you can just leave your name in the comments below, and we will make sure you get one. So the Tapping into Your Wellpower retreat is a day away, and it's in Bellevue, Iowa, a beautiful place, and it's at the Rickert Lodge. And what we'll be doing that day is we're going to do some intense coaching around where you are now, where do you feel stuck, what holds you back, and then we're going to give you some easily executable action steps so that you will walk away with a whole toolkit of things that this is what I can do. And again, it's not like, what am I going to do every day for the rest of my life? It's what's the next step, because you just need to do the inch by inch thing.
Yep, one step at a time.
So we're going to have a brilliant cast of coaches around to help. So it's going to be a really great day, and we really hope that you might be able to join us, because Becca's going to be making the food, and Becca's such an excellent cook. You'll want to come just for her cooking because she's such a great cook. And she's going to be doing that. And she's also going to be doing a little cooking demonstration at the end of the day.
For anybody that wants to learn a little bit more about finding ways to make healthy food a little bit yummier and more easily available.
Yeah, it's great. And Becca is also a health coach, so she can talk to you about some issues too. I'm also a certified eating psychology coach and a fitness instructor, so we might do some things with movement as well. We have the day that's scheduled from 10 in the morning till 4, and then we're doing a bonus evening session that you can stay, and if you want to sign up for that too, that would be great, because then sometimes you get stuff during the day, but it's not until you get to talk to other people and kind of mull it over a little bit what's going to happen in the evening. We're going to have some different people do some breakout sessions, and then we're going to have a cookout, and then we're going to have a fire ceremony, and the fire ceremony is going to be very exciting.
And the labyrinth.
And the labyrinth. So we're going to do a guided labyrinth walk. So that is really awesome if you've never done that. Don't think like big grassy areas where you won't be able to get out. Maybe I don't know.
It's
like,
small.
It's very small. You can see where you're going.
But the meaning is there, and
but
it's
the
fun.
meaning, yeah. So we walk in, and then we come out of it with we go in with an intention, and just like we're doing with the whole day, it's a very mindful, intentional day where you'll get to be around some really great people and some awesome coaches and
some amazing energy.
yeah, we went over there about a month ago to scope everything out for you guys, and it's just fantastic. It's close, but it's still far enough away that you feel like you've gone to an exotic spa someplace, and
It's nice.
it's just really nice to have that kind of energy to go and be and kind of discover some things about yourself, because I know here's what people have been saying. It's like, I'd love to go, but I'm so overwhelmed, and I'm so, you never know what's going on, and this is the thing I say. It's like, I'm going to take it back to my tech issue that I've had in the past couple of weeks. So yesterday I spent approximately 4 hours on the phone with tech support trying to get my internet connection back up and running, and it was so unpleasant. But I said, I'm going to do what it takes to get this figured out, because if I can do this, then I can have possibly years of faster internet working. So it's also, I relate it to like when people say, oh, I don't have time to meditate or take a walk or do yoga or whatever it is. But if you do that in the morning, say you spend 5 minutes just in quiet reflection, sometimes that can really set you up to have a really, really productive day. And it only took you 5 minutes. So yeah, there is going to be a cost. It's going to cost you, it's going to cost you, hey, Lorraine's here. Hey, Lorraine.
Hi, Lorraine.
So it's going to cost you a little bit of time. It's going to, because, you're going to have to commit the day, but it's a day for you, completely for you.
Yes.
And it's going to cost you a little bit of money. You know, I feel like when you don't have any skin in the game, it doesn't really mean anything. If it's just something that you think, oh, $5, you know, no big deal. But we want you to understand that this is an investment in you, yourself, your brilliance, your growth, you know, whatever.
And show up and bring all your energy, because it's not only going to be a day that you're in control of how much you're going to get out of it, because we are going to come full force with everything we've got to help you.
Yeah.
And the more you show up and engage and soak up the energy and share the energy you have with other people, the bigger and better this place, the whole thing is going to get.
Yeah.
And you will come out of it with a change in perspective.
Absolutely, because here's the thing, you know, we talked about in one of the weeks of the show, we talked about catapulting you out of your comfort zone and then into your curiosity zone where you're just at least curious, and then your creative zone where you're creating things. We talked about that with the challenge last week. And then now we're talking about your contribution zone where you know exactly what it is you have to offer and you contribute it. You give it back to your tribe. I mean, there's nothing more satisfying than knowing that you have a gift. You have something that other people don't have, and that you can share that with people. People who will see you, and, you know, that's just the coolest thing ever when you get to do that. So we want to provide this setting, this beautiful setting where you can come in, you can drop in, you can learn a lot. So the way the day is going to go is in the morning, we're going to kind of do a little look at where you've been and what's the story. What is your story? And then we're going to try and drop in with this idea that we're talking about today, perspective, and we're going to have you maybe look at it from a different view. You know, I think most of us have a storyline of, we tell ourselves just things that about ourselves, whether, you know, we're incoordinated or this or that, and then we kind of live it out that way. But what if the opposite were actually true? And what if you were like this graceful, exquisite creature, and you've been living as if you weren't? I mean, wouldn't that be awful? So we want to kind of help you realize, you know, your potential and say, you know, you have got it going on, and we want to then help you really tap into that. And when I say tap, I mean literally tap, because it's at your fingertips here. We're going to show you the magic at your fingertips, and we're going to show you how to tap. So we're going to come up with some things, and then we're going to do a script, and then we're going to do some tapping with that. So we'll show you how to do it, and it looks kind of like this. It looks very funny. So I'm not going to do a whole bunch of it because I don't want to scare you off, but it's very effective. So that's what we
But basically, you'll be coming out of it with some actionable steps that you can take home with you and carry on with you for the rest of your life. Things that will help you get a better grasp on where you want to go and how to get there.
Right. Yeah. And then we're also, you know, what we find tends to happen when we do these retreats is that you feel really great the day of, and then you're like, oh yeah, I'm going to go do all this. And then suddenly you get done, and then it's like you get home and you're like, oh wait, I don't know how to incorporate that. Well, we're not going to let that happen, because we're going to have lots of follow-up and check-ins with you, so that this isn't just a one-day thing that was fun or nice. This is going to be like a life-changing thing. So, yeah.
And the more support, the better. I mean, I would hope that you guys are able to make connections that will allow you to support each other as well. Because, you know, lots of times all you need is a good friend to cheer you on a little bit.
Yes. Like Becca, you just need
and Penny,
squad.
She cheers me on too all the time. So
it's a big deal. And so here's the other thing: you should probably feel a little bit nervous. I mean, like I want you to be really excited about coming to this, but you should also feel like, oh, this, you know, a little bit like it pushes you, like it's a little bit challenging for you, because if it just feels like, oh, this is easy, it's just a walk in the park, you know, it's because it's going to we're going to ask you to get out of your comfort zone a little bit. So that's what that day is all about. But back to this week in the stretch series and what we're talking about with the whole thing of perspective. We well, here's Ruby. You can let her in. It's my dog. She wants to come up. As we had mentioned before, there's wildlife around here. Wild things are running around. Oh, yeah. So,
Okay, back on
so,
track.
so back on perspective. Yep. And,
You lost yours.
sometimes, you
And
see
this
things
is
from
the fun of going
yeah,
live.
yeah, and this is the fun of going live. So
You
that
get the
when
bloopers right there
right
in
there,
there.
and we don't have
instead
to
of
wait
the
and put them
outtake.
in at the end. We just have them right there. So yeah, the perspective, the point. So when we do the stretch series, and we give you something for the week, just notice how that works into your week. Like we have noticed every time that we've talked about something, it shows up over and over and over in our week. And it's because we're intentionally thinking about it. So this week, if you can just, if you get really kind of locked into an idea or something and you don't know how to turn it around, or try and look at it from a different point of view. When I used to teach exercise classes, I used to teach the stability ball, and it was really interesting because everything always looked a little bit different when we turned ourselves upside down. When we rolled around on our bellies, or ended up with the ball up in the air, and we were down on the floor. Yeah, we've got a few mosquitoes around here. So anyway, I mean, it's as silly as it sounds. I mean, do the hokey pokey and turn yourself around and just see what you can come up with if something really gets you sort of befuddled or bewildered, or
Add a little humor to it.
Yeah, add a little humor to it.
A perspective with a little humor always helps to find a way out of it and make you feel better about it.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I can always advise. If you can add a little humor to your perspective, it instantly lightens the load.
Yeah. Like just for example, last night Beck and I did thank you. We did try to make this video last night.
Yes.
And I had a very weird thing going on with my hair, and I can only say alfalfa, and maybe that will give you some visual clue as to what was going on. And we just could not continue on because it was just so silly, and we're probably not going to be able to continue on much longer because we have these mosquitoes outside.
They are attacking all of a sudden.
Something's up. But that's basically it. That's what we wanted to talk to you about tonight on the Sunday Summer Stretch Series, was just to let you think about this idea of perspective. And if you have a chance, we do have all the other videos on the YouTube channel. So
and maybe watching those will change your perspective on all kinds of things.
Yes, absolutely. So
and going to the retreat will definitely change your perspective forever. As I mentioned in the last video, you'd be amazed at one little thing you get involved in, how it changes everything for you. Like I said about us doing that purification.
Yeah, we did a cleanse, and that's really
21 days of doing something that was really hard, to be honest, and the retreat won't be hard. It's going to be very enjoyable.
And you'll be very, very supportive. And we're going to weave in all of these concepts that we've talked about in the Summer Stretch Series. I mean, they're all going to show up throughout the day. So what we're doing in the Summer Stretch Series, the Sunday Summer Stretch Series, is to give you them in bite-sized pieces, so you have a sense of who we are and how we work, and how we roll. And we roll with a lot of fun. We like to have fun. We try to have a good time, and we want you to feel comfortable and
happy and energized and ready to take on whatever it is that you have been feeling deep down inside you should be doing or wanting to do. We want to help you get there. We do. Whether it's just an emotional thing that you want to change the way you feel about things, or whether it's that you want to do something in life that you haven't done yet.
Because that reminds me of like the big thing that I wanted to say about perspective. I came up with this a few years ago when I was writing a different piece, but it's like you are only one thought away from a new perspective. Yeah. So it's not like you have to get up and do 50 jumping jacks, although that might help. It might help shake things up.
Sometimes it stimulates the brain to get a little movement going.
Yeah, but when you're in a real funk, why not just flip it around and say, what if the opposite were true? Right. And then, because really, you can choose to stay on the same path with these thoughts, or you can flip it. So you're only one thought away from a new perspective.
And it's amazing how fast the universe will follow you when you flip it.
Yeah.
It really does. I mean, the universe follows you in whichever direction you want to think about things.
Yeah, as quickly as these mosquitoes will follow you when you turn around. So
the universe has got your back. It will follow you. If you have a different perspective, it's going to have things show up in your life a whole different way.
Yeah.
So
So that's really all we've got. We don't want, we don't want to take all night. We just wanted to come in with this week's Sunday
Yes.
Summer Stretch Series. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions or suggestions or anything like that, we would just leave them in the comments below. And maybe next time we'll try using some of the funny things and put like bubbles and cats.
they were
and
coming
weird
up
things.
accidentally. So
Yeah.
if we can figure out how
So-
to make them come up on purpose,
Yeah, then we can have a little.
That'd be
have some
fun.
fun with it. We can do like hats and mustaches and
if
things
you
like
email us, we'll find a way to send them to you in an
that.
email.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. We will. So thanks for watching, and we will catch you next week for Sunday Summer Stretch Series. And remember, just keep everything in perspective. Look at things
With
from
us-
a new perspective.
Yeah, and keep a smile on your face. That always helps with it.
Yeah, we've noticed that sometimes after we do these videos that we didn't smile enough.
Yeah.
Because we're very happy people, but
Yeah.
we get so serious about
We get concerned.
about what we're doing here. So
We get concerned that we don't
No.
have everything working correctly, and
yeah, and usually we don't.
forget to have fun with it sometimes.
Yeah.
But we do have fun. When she shows the bloopers.
Oh yeah, you can see that we're really out of control. But anyway, for right now,
Right.
we're gonna wrap it up, and
Alright,
it's a
yeah.
wrap. We'll see you next week. Thanks for
Have a good
joining
Sunday
us.
night.
Yeah, good Sunday night and good week.